I guess I'd like to welcome everybody to the late but monthly meeting of the Unionville Historic District and Property Commission. This is April 7th, 2022, and we'll first go to our minutes. And has everybody read the minutes? No, I can't hear anybody.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Matt, did you read the minutes?
Did I read the minutes? Yes.
Yes. Okay, then you can vote because we need 4 votes to.
Yep.
Yes.
We need a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
I motion.
Do we have a second? Anybody hear me?
Second from Barbara.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah,
Aye.
right. And the minutes stand. Are there any corrections or omissions?
Nope.
No. Okay, good. Then we don't need to go through this again. Then we'll take the minutes as written and move on to well, the first thing is to review the March. Yeah, we did that already, and we're moving on to the next part, which is the walking tour.
Steve, I'm gonna try and give you control. See if you can.
Do we want to appoint? Do we want to appoint the alternates first?
Yeah, yeah, I think that's a good idea to appoint somebody else.
So we just need a
Thank
motion and a second to appoint Matt as a full member of the meeting.
I motion.
Second. Can't hear anything. Matt, you there?
I'm here. Yep.
He can't vote for himself.
Right.
So Barbara, just raise it. The audio went away, so just raise your hand. There we go. Okay. Now we can go on to the walking tour.
Okay. Walking tours. God. This
So
is probably
Steve
the worst.
has control of my computer. So
I do. Uh-oh. Let's see. Huh.
You're going to scroll down, Steve. So use the.
Oh.
Yep.
Yep,
There you go.
Oh, okay.
it might be a little slow.
Okay. So this is obviously looking up Lovely Street from downtown Unionville, and this is the gateway to the Lovely Street Historic District. And we have these 2 beautiful brick buildings as our sentries. And what Barbara and I have done is start a slideshow, and we're going to add additional photos and text, and try to make it a beautiful thing. So basically, so far, we just have the image of the building, the address, and then the basic architectural style reference.
Steve, I can give you a full history on that building, and
Yeah?
it's actually the address is actually 20 Main Street, not One Lovely.
I was afraid of that.
That's okay.
Try to do it.
That's okay, but I can give you the full history on the building. So
Yeah, that's good. It's a good thing. And one thing we might want to do is we're going to go through the archives at the Unionville Museum and whatever other sources we can come up with. And we might want to juxtapose an early photograph of this building and all the buildings if we can, and show some of the changes, variations of each building. And it's, you know, it's always been a commercial space, offices, retail. Anyway, I'm just going to kind of cruise through it so we can just take an overview. I don't like how this works. Okay. Okay. Anyway, the architectural style. I am not controlling this very well. The architectural style that I've chosen to, I don't know why this is not cooperating.
All right, do you want me to do it?
It's just too sensitive or something. Yeah, you want to take control of this?
Yeah, I keep closing tabs back.
You know, I'll just say next, or Barbie, feel free to chime in whenever you'd like to. I think originally in one of the surveys, the firehouse building was described as Gothic. Yeah, but I want to debate that. I see no pointed arches. I see an asymmetrical facade, and the classic small lights around the upper sash windows is classic Queen Anne to me. But anyway, we can always refine things afterwards and get other people's opinions on board. Next. We are missing one house, which is right next to the firehouse that comes before this one. It's number 24. And I've spoken to the owners. I actually know the owners. And they've been approached years ago, and they're very on guard and reluctant to join. Their house is a 1849 vernacular, and you can easily overlook it. It's way up high on a steep driveway, kind of tucked in some trees, and they've put a lot of additions on it as well, so that you don't even recognize the original building. And so the wife wouldn't even want me to take a picture of it until her husband got home. She needed his permission, which is really funny. And you know, I sort of I started to sway her. I said, "Look, you've already done a lot of changes. We're not going to make you reverse any changes at all. Looks like they're empty nesters now. They're not going to do any more remodels." And I said, "We just don't want this house torn down. I'm trying to sell the
right.
membership as thinking beyond yourself, think into the future, and please save this building, for future generations or whatever." So I still have to go back there and talk to Mark, the husband. I haven't seen him in like 40 years. Anyway,
that's what happens when you don't stay close with your friends.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Anyway, so this is a little further up the street on the right, next house in line. It's kind of a unique one, kind of unusual. That's why I threw in the modified exotic onto the Italianate Victorian style because of those crazy big columns. And anyway, it's a funky house. It's wood, a different kind of siding than you normally see. It's kind of unique. And the new owners, I think they've been there like 2 or 3 years. They've done a lot of nice work to the landscape and the backyard and so forth. Anyway, oh, there's the text. Excellent. I didn't see the text with all your
Yeah,
faces.
I haven't added to the text to everything, but if you just note that Albert Hill was one of the originals in the Ups and Nut company, and that
Right.
company has an incredible story. And little bits of it will be with different people. Several people on this block were tied to that. And I don't know, do any of you remember Republic Steel? It was one of the largest steel companies in the United States. And this is actually one of the 3 companies that formed it. So there's a huge amount of history. And the Upson Nut building is actually still on Main Street, or rather Mill Street.
Mill
We can go
Right.
down and take a picture of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
yeah, I mean, these were really captains of industry. I mean, you don't realize coming from Unionville, what
Yeah.
some of them contributed.
And in this case, quite beyond Unionville, national.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So we could even do it like a smaller, Barbara, you were mentioning about diminishing the photographs a little bit.
Or moving
somewhat
them.
Sorry?
Or moving them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then you could do, the oldest photograph we can find of this building, this present photograph, and then a picture of the Upson Nut.
Yeah.
It would give that complete picture and tie it all together. All right, next. Is Garrett on control still? All right. All right, this is on the left side, or this is kind of a unique one. Really interesting landscaping. I used to play football in that front yard in the sunken field there. The guy
The
who
swimming
owns,
pool used to be in the front.
what's that?
There was a swimming pool in the front.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
But I could see that right over here.
That's why it's
Yeah.
a hole.
Wow.
I could see that.
That's amazing. Yeah. Yeah. It was a great football field for sure. The kid who grew up in that house when I lived in the neighborhood growing up, he owns People's Choice Pizza in the Iron Horse Pub. Rob Bilbashi. Yeah. Her family grew up there. Stucco. It's kind of got that weird addition in the front right, unfortunately. It had an open porch to the right side earlier. So it was a little more symmetrical and looked even more like a villa. Anyway, a unique house nonetheless. All right, next. Back to the right side of the street, a Greek Revival. The predominant style on the street is often Victorian, either Italianate or Queen Anne. But there's a few Greek Revivals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they, Seymour Moses and his wife have an interesting story. I'd love to get a lot more of the details. They were, it seems, kicked out of several congregational churches. So I don't think we can get the reason why, but that might be interesting.
Uh-oh.
Which was a real big deal back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeez. Oh. Uh-oh. Someone's got speed dial on. I just had a quick meeting with Patty Laboutiere and my girlfriend at the Unionville Museum tonight, Barbara.
Yeah.
And we can have access to their archives. There's so much.
Well, I do. I have the catalog.
Oh, good.
And
So we can also
Ann
go.
and I, Ann's the Viberts are at a
Yeah.
wedding, I believe, in South Carolina. So
Yes.
Mhm.
the
right.
town is much smaller tonight, and that town has grown quite a bit. And
With the Vibert clan. Yeah.
yeah,
But
so
anyway, my girlfriend has a key as well, so we can, there's a whole lot of archive photographs, literature beyond the catalog. It's amazing.
oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if any of these churches are still around. Maybe they kept their records.
With a gospel.
I'm sure they're there. the First Congregational Church is still around.
Yes. But that's not the one they were kicked out of.
Well, this house was just worked on like 5 years ago. They
Is that
just did
right?
their that porch on the side over, and
Oh,
the
nice.
doors and windows there too.
Yeah, I'm glad they kept the 6/6.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and
are they listed? I forget if they're listed on in the district.
I don't
No.
think so. No.
no,
So they didn't have to go through a review or anything, and they still
No.
did a good job.
yeah, oh yeah. Whoever did it did a nice job.
Yeah.
I'm just pulling up the maps. We have it in case we need it. There we go. All right. Can I go to the next one, Steve?
Yes. Unless Barbara has something else to add. All right.
No.
There's our
This one
former,
looks familiar, huh?
yeah, our former historic district commissioner, Sherry Horton. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous house.
Yeah. I also modified the name on this one too. I added East Lake.
Which is a British
Yeah.
similar design.
Oh yeah. So in the original listing, it was described as stick, which is kind of a synonymous with East Lake. Anyway, another subset of the Victorian, and really unique, cool craftsmanship. And it's amazing. There's different color slate tile up in the gables on either side of the house. You know, this King's Cross and the verge board, all that decoration is really neat. I just restored a balustrade on the left for Sherry, and I built that deck with railings on the left-hand side last summer for her. So when I lived in the house for a year, when I was 6 years old. Anyway, FYI, TMI. Beautiful house, well maintained. All right. Oh, compared to the next house, Bill's house. I would love to paint this house.
Yeah,
At least 3 or 4 colors.
the boards are all rotten.
Well, yes and no. A lot of it's just cosmetic. I've been
Just peeling.
Yeah, there may be some rot in there somewhere, but Bill Simons owns it. Yeah,
Right.
And he's been to a meeting or so. Yeah, he might have gone to that Lovely Street group way back when. Anyway, I think he's reluctant to do pretty much anything. Sherry's been bugging him for years. Anyway, he attended the tax credit workshop. I'm not sure when that was held. Anyway, big, huge, beautiful building, and I'd love to go inside it. Sherry says it's all original. He
It's
grew up in
beautiful
the house.
inside.
Sorry?
It's beautiful inside.
Yeah, I bet. Just the scale of it is amazing. And anyway, I don't know. So Sherry and I will work on him. I'm probably going down to Sherry's house tomorrow. Classic Queen Anne. Very interesting siding varieties. Okay, next. Same side of the street, another Greek Revival. Just right at the second hill, beginning of the second hill. When I grew up, the Hemingways lived there. I'm not sure who lives there now.
No.
7?
Anyway, there's a little bit of neglect. Texiera, Dennis Texiera.
Dennis Texiera.
Huh.
Texiera.
Oh yeah. I think he walks up and down my street every day. Again, just some good paint. I think that's a little bit of water issue happening there. It's got a funky roof addition or manipulation on the upper right, kind of odd. But another Greek revival, and mostly original. I mean, the windows have been redone tastefully, thankfully. Yeah. Okay, next. All right, this is kind of at the corner of Merriman and Lovely, beginning of my street. And this is one of the newer, more modern houses on the list. There's a good cluster of colonial revivals from here on to Avon. Anyway, classic gambrel roof with a shingle style. New owners, I think they bought it maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Miss Quigley lived there forever. And anyway, next. We have Lisa Johnson's house, El Presidente. It's a kind of fun style, folk Victorian, with a lot of gingerbreading, that decorative detail in the barge boards in each gable, sort of the icicles along the eaves, shingle.
They still have the template for that.
Good. They need a few of the icicle teeth. A few are missing.
Their house came in segments, the original house, and then a section on that was added that came, I forgot where it came from, and they brought it to this location on wheels on a trailer and everything.
Wow.
And installed against, I think it's the left hand side
Is
with
the newer one.
the section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
So you can, it's kind of neat the way you go from one house to the other.
Yeah. I've never been inside actually. Yeah.
You got to talk to Mr. Lindquist to get in there. He'll give you a grand tour.
I know. I think I was too much of a troublemaker on the bus when he took us skiing at Sundown. I don't think he has great memories of me. I was a troublemaker in junior high and maybe high school too. But anyway, very cool house. Yeah, we'll have to get a tour. All right, next. All right, we always want this house to be on Merriman Street, but it's not. Just I wanted the Masonic building to be on Lovely. But anyway, go ahead, Barbara.
I think I did come across a picture of this. I have to go back through my notes without the that big portico in the front.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we have that.
Yeah, that's right. There was that in that museum book you borrowed. I think there's a picture of with a lower porch, a covered porch with posts. So it looked even more Italianate at that juncture. And then in some of the descriptions for this one, they say, they called it Colonial Revival, which is, I don't know. To me, it's more like a neoclassic. It has the Roman Ionic columns and the dental molding.
Well, the Dutch colonial, isn't the Dutch colonial the center entrance?
Yeah. Yeah. But those typically had a gambrel roof and kind of like the Colonial Revival on the other side of the street, that brown shingle. But yeah, this is a cool building. Barbara Brenneman used to live there. She's works for the town.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot her position, but
Registrar.
that's right. And her 4 girls grew up there. I was practically the only guy on the street. It was amazing. There's
Oh,
2
tough.
families, 2 families with 4 girls each. It was crazy.
Tough.
Poor guy.
It was brutal. It's brutal. Yeah. Woe was me. Anyway, gorgeous building. There was a huge, see that big maple on the right? There was one on the left, which toppled it during Isaias, the tropical storm. It went through that front window in the left bay, and it took off the Ionic Capitol. You see the missing Capitol, and yeah. So interesting. Yeah. Okay, next. I think there's an elevator in that building too. Opposite side of the street. This one's set pretty far back. Nice, big, beautiful house.
We tried to get this house in the district.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful house.
That's
it is.
Karen's.
The map says it's in the district.
Oh, you may
Karski?
be
maybe.
confusing it with Karen Cardillo, or
Yeah.
Yeah, 111 is in the district.
yeah,
Well, that's
George.
new. Yeah, that's new then.
Oh, that's Barbara Karski.
Barbara.
Yes,
That's who lives there. now.
added last year. Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Eugene Ripley House.
Mhm.
Yeah, gorgeous. Gorgeous. The last house we were looking at, 112, it had a front porch similar to the one on 111 in the old photographs. It had more of a porch, more like that on the facade. Interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, beautiful. Next. All right. James Jenkins. Bill Atkinson. So he attended meetings. He's been given a letter and a packet. Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't listed, because right next door, Jack Kemper is in the district. Yeah, this one's kind of
Right.
interesting. No. Barbara and I think this one belongs on the seacoast.
Mhm.
On the shore. Looks like a shore with a widow's walk, captains.
Yeah, the flat roof,
Yeah, yeah,
or pretty flat.
it is. Yeah,
It's pretty flat. Pretty flat for snow.
Yeah.
for sure. Yep. Yeah, kind of a unique building. Very nice.
Yeah.
All right, next. Across the street. I don't know if these folks have been approached at all in the past. Looks mostly original. That may have been an addition on the lower left where that stovepipe is coming out of, that sunroom. That may be a more modern addition.
And a porch staying closed. Just looking at the columns.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Here. And right in the corner.
Oh, yeah. The columns look like they're kind of still there, and maybe it was just enclosed.
Yeah. They could also be applied pilaster, a false column.
Could be.
Yeah, could be.
Possibly. Yeah, I don't remember that growing up, whether that was there or not in the 70s. They have a great barn out back, nice big lot. Another Italianate, one of the more common styles on Lovely Street. Hipped roof, tall windows. All right, next.
There we go.
Another Greek Revival. Now this one should be on. Yep, they were added last year.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I
Right.
think
or the year
Jack.
before,
Oh, okay.
maybe it was.
I
Yeah,
think Jack. I think
No,
Jack.
and Ken.
Mhm.
Jack is an architect. I think he's an architect. Jack Kemper.
Yes.
Yes, he is.
And
And
that house, that house is gorgeous inside.
Barbara, you said he's the one who hosted the Lovely Street Gathering.
Yes,
Yeah. The
when you
recruit.
walk in, there's this beautiful modern kitchen.
Mm,
It's just a beautiful house.
yeah. Yeah. And well done deceiving how
Yeah.
original it looks from the outside
Right.
and how you say it's been transformed inside, which I
Yeah,
think,
and if I remember correctly, the back of at least the first floor has been opened up with wider windows in the back.
yeah.
Trying to remember, but it really is beautiful.
Yeah, it's probably a prime example of, how you can modernize an old
Yeah.
building, yet keep the character like that.
Hmm.
A great example. All right, next. Another Colonial Revival.
Gambrel.
Newark, Gambrel roof.
Mhm.
And two married to Sanford. Is that right, Barbara?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Olivia too. I think
Yeah,
she
Oliver
married-
too, and married to Sanford. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like 5 or 6 Colonial Revivals the rest of the way to Avon. It was a really popular style.
Yeah, I do have a list of numbers, what was done, what was actually built by the Sanfords and what was built by the Parsons.
Mhm.
Parsons built a lot of the homes there also. So
Yeah.
Steve, I was gonna say this porch looks a lot like the 127 Lovely Street with the column and everything.
It does.
So maybe they were
Yeah.
like sleeping porches or something.
Yes.
The left side's the sunroom.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what I meant. Maybe it was a porch and they turned it into an enclosed space or something like that, or maybe a sleeping porch or something
Right.
originally.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Next.
now this is really interesting. It's the Nettleson House. And if you look at the 1985 architectural review, that is what it is called. But there are, well, this is a picture, and there is information at the Unionville Museum that claim that the small house on the side is actually the Nettleson House. And when Oliver Beckwith bought the home, he moved that house and then built for his new wife this Queen Anne Victorian. And they have the date, I believe, is let me see if it's in here, as 1906, which is way different. That house, when Oliver's wife died, she married a doctor, and he used that small house that they moved to the side as his office. And I don't know, it's going to take some digging to kind of verify all of that. Now,
Yeah.
it wouldn't necessarily have needed a new mortgage. He was one of the richest men in town. So if he didn't need a mortgage, and we didn't, I don't know what our zoning laws were back then. He
weren't.
may have just been able to put it up without having any information on record.
I think the town got zoning in 1950, early 1950s. I don't remember the exact date off the top of my head. So it was definitely pre-zoning.
Yeah.
Right. So he might not have, you know, if you built something and you didn't need a mortgage, so title didn't change, you pretty much did whatever you wanted to. And that house would still retain in the records the original building,
Right.
right? Because it's the property
Yeah.
that they're talking about. So I don't know. we have to do a little more digging and find out exactly. I don't know if anyone's around who would still remember a doctor in the early 1900s.
The name should actually be corrected to Nettleton House, not Nettleson House.
Oh,
We spell it
Nettleton.
wrong.
Nettleton. Okay.
Nettleson.
And I say that
Nettleton.
because there are
Oh, and
family
then I
ties.
copied it.
There are
Yeah,
family
yeah.
ties there.
Aha. Well, if you have family ties, maybe you can go through some old books and find out what happened. I don't know.
There's no evidence of that older house, unless it was moved like 3 or 4 lots up on the right. It looks a
Well,
lot like one of our
It
other
was
houses.
moved to
I
the
was gonna say, it
corner
looks
of
like
their lot
132.
at that point, but it could have been torn down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
sure
It
it
looks kind of
was.
like 132.
Yeah.
it does. It does.
I mean, but I think the front comes out more.
Yeah. And I think it has a bay. It has a bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At that time, they were moving houses all over the place, even Farmington and Unionville.
It's true.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which so
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It may turn up somewhere else.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I do believe it's gone, but
Yeah, I would think so, but I thought that the story behind it was really interesting. And
it is.
although I don't know if the people living now in this Queen Anne will be upset if they're told that they're not in the Nettleson house. I don't know.
Well, Karen Cardillo almost signed on and then she withdrew. She started the process to join the historic district,
So-
but then she withdrew.
She started the process. Would all of the research have been done? And
Mhm.
maybe that paperwork is there?
Yeah, Lisa might have it.
Well, we're
I'll
going to
check
do
my-
even more, and we're going to
Yeah, I'll
wow
check-
her.
I don't
Lisa
think
might
Lisa
have it.
gave.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
Lisa gave Shannon anything, so I don't think I have anything in my office. I'll double check, but I think Lisa probably has it, or it's probably at her house because she's not home. So, like,
Anyway,
I mean, if we're doing the tour in the fall, maybe she'll be back by then.
Yeah, I hope so.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's done good work on the house, Karen Cardillo. Some good work on the house. Okay, next. All right, this is on the corner of Sanford. Same side of the street as Karen Cardillo's house. Now, this is an interesting example. If you shift to the next one and then shift back, this one has, they're almost identical in their floor plan or design. But you can see this one, you got aluminum siding on it. You lost some detail. You've had more upgrades and not as much concern about keeping the original detail like you do in the next one. but still a Queen Anne, still has good bones, still should be a candidate. Some classmates of mine from high school just sold that, actually. They moved to New Hampshire and started a farm, but I haven't met the new owners yet.
Steve, I think it's almost better that there's two houses that look alike, because if someone wants to restore it, they've got an example.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's a great talking point, with a tour. You can be critical without insulting. It still has a lot of charm, and there's still some original features, obviously, in the porch. But anyway, nice bones. Good house. Next. Yeah, this one's really charming. I might add a little more color personally, with the Victorians typically had at least 3 colors on their houses, but it's more maintenance. There's now the Sanfords. Oh, the one back, we're wondering if that's a Sanford House too. Unknown. So you got to do some digging on that one.
Yeah.
It makes sense that it would be.
Barbara, do you have Ned Sanford's contact information? Frank Sanford. I forget who's the historian.
Well, there's like 3 brothers.
Yeah,
Frank?
one is the family historian.
Yeah, that's Frank.
Yeah,
And
Frank.
We're going to try to meet with him on the 21st.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Now, I'm sure he can tell us every house that they built
I bet.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Is he probably
on
knows.
Lovely or any other place. Yeah.
He's probably got some amazing photos and
Yeah.
some real stories to tell. And I guess he's the archivist of the family. And
Yes.
yeah, we're going to definitely tap that source for sure. Yeah, so that'll be important to know. Yeah, there's a number of duplexes up here. One I'm missing is another Colonial Revival. I think it's 169, and that's a Parsons house. I just took the picture today.
Oh, okay.
So I have to upload that. Keep going.
169.
That one.
Which
So
is in
this
the
one,
district.
that's Luke Parsons, Colonial Revival, 1925. So this one needs to be included as well. Not that the Colonial Revival is a unique or exceptional style, is a very popular style, but Parsons is an important historically significant name in town. So we will be featuring this one as well.
Yeah, that's in the district too, so.
Yes.
It's in the district. Yeah. Good.
Yes.
All right, next.
All right. Okay.
Well, for a minute, I thought, was this the one that was moved from Nettleton? For a second, but it's definitely not.
Quite
This
a
is very-
distance away.
It is.
Yeah.
And this is very much like Sherry Horton's house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also been a little bit abused, neglected. I think that's aluminum siding on it, but you can still see some original features, and I got to leave my business card there.
But the name is renowned with one of the founders of Unionville and several other homes in the Unionville area, as well as
Yeah.
family.
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. I think I know one of the tenants there as well. Went to school with her. So anyway, even if a house is, somewhat neglected, I think it still should be, I don't know, encouraged or, Not just because of the Taft name, but, you know, there's hope. It should be saved and upgraded, improved and not torn down. But once neglect goes on for too long, sometimes, unfortunately. Okay, next. Yeah, beautiful. Edwin Sanford.
That is gorgeous. I want to live there.
Yeah, you don't see too many, what do you call the drive-in porch, the carriage shed?
Portico?
No,
Yeah,
it's carport now. I don't know what it.
carport. Yeah,
Carport.
yeah. You don't see too many of those. And it's got a beautiful barn out back. Yeah, yeah, that's well done. Well maintained. I forget if this is a duplex. Yeah. I forget if this is a duplex or not. I'm not sure. Anyway, we're gonna have to be talking to Frank.
Yeah.
A lot about this one for more detail. Oh, Deming.
Okay.
Is that
The
the
only thing, is that the last one?
No, there's one more.
Okay, all right.
One more.
I think it's a single family.
Okay.
I don't see it listing a number of units. So if that you, yeah, single family.
Single?
Good.
Wow, big house.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Let's see.
Okay.
All right, last one. Last one. Another Sanford House. This is just before the Avon line.
Mhm.
Sherman Street. There's Sylvan, Merriman. These are all streets to the right off of Sanford and then Sherman.
Mhm.
Those are the names of the streets. This, I think, is a four units, maybe. No, it's listed as a duplex. Anyway, yeah, decent shape. Really large. Another Queen Anne. I guess that's it for now.
Yeah. On the very first page where I had tried to insert a picture, the Episcopal Church, Unionville Episcopal Church, was actually standing on the corner.
In the graveyard.
On kind of under the graveyard hill.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I don't have the dates, so I have to find the exact dates.
Wow.
I don't know when it moved. I was hoping when I went into the just the website for the church, they would mention something about it, but they didn't. I do know this is after World War I because there is, I guess maybe if we enlarge it, there's an honor roll.
Oh, to the right.
Right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Right. For World War I soldiers. And I know it was before, I believe, 1926, because 1926 was a banner year in Farmington. Actually, 5 years before that was a banner year, or somewhere between 23 and 26. The end of World War I was a banner year for children, because I have a picture of a first grade class that had classes actually in the Masonic Hall. And they did their research, or rather their recess, research too maybe, where this church is standing. That's where they had their little recess area. So yeah, they had to divide the class, and there are maybe, I don't know, 10 or 12 kids in the class. So considering classes now are about 30 almost, they had so many new students in the school that the first first grade class for the Union School was divided, and half of it had classes in the Masonic Hall. Just kind of like an interesting little tidbit about the town.
Yeah. It's amazing. I've never seen that photograph before.
Yeah,
Imagine if
there are
Lovely Streets to look like
a
that.
few of them I have to, yeah, which is
Mm.
cute kids. I mean, but you know, and they're sitting in front of a bank. That first floor was a bank at one point, which failed during the Depression and was closed officially during FDR's bank holiday. So Farmington was hit by that Depression as well as everyone else.
Yeah.
So just okay.
All right.
Okay.
So should we include the Masonic building even though it's on Main Street?
I think so. It is right on the corner there.
Or is it already listed on Main Street's historic district?
Well, it is probably, but we can be in both places.
We can share it. Yeah.
Yeah, because it is right there.
Okay.
And I think maybe that was why I didn't look it up originally, because it wasn't included in that 1985, because it, you know, what, or I don't think it was included. Maybe it wasn't. I just ignored it. I don't know. But yeah, I think we should look into it.
Yeah.
And it does, you know, if you look carefully at the brickwork on Tunxus fire hose
Yeah.
and the Masonic building, to me, that brickwork looks a little familiar, you know, similar.
Yeah.
But so
Yeah.
That building was rebuilt. It burned down in the late 1860s, early 1870s,
The
and they
firehouse.
rebuilt it. And
Whoa.
no, the Masonic
the-
building.
Masonic building.
Yep, and they actually rebuilt it in brick.
in the 1860s.
Late 1860s, early 1870s.
Matt knows his work.
Nice. Nice. And Bob, was it you who said it was 20 Main Street or?
No, that's it. So I've got a full history of the Masonic building that I can
Okay.
share with you guys. I'm a member of the lodge.
Oh, good.
Okay, great. Great.
22 Main Street.
22.
Yep.
And
Thank
should we ask Matt if he has any good ideas on software for recording and then for splicing that's easy? We will be, Frank Sanford said he'd be willing to be recorded and to try to get his stories down. So we'll be, you know, we may be playing around with the recording a little, so.
Yeah.
If you guys just use the audio record feature on a smartphone,
Yeah.
that should be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I have one. It works well. Well, that's a start. We could definitely add so much more.
Well, there is. I mean, and obviously I have a lot to do that I have just not had the energy to get around to.
Yeah.
But it's also, as Lisa always says, when you start getting a little bit of information in one place and then you get a little more in another place, you really are going down almost a rabbit hole at times, trying to look things up. And of course, with the internet, you're then immediately on the internet looking up people's names and looking for pictures. So Yeah.
The brochure would certainly have to be very compressed and
Yeah.
pared down, whereas the online
Well, I think
virtual tour
the
could
town-
be elaborate.
I guess someone at the town would help us lay out the brochure and put it together.
Matt
I
has a
give-
program for that.
Right. You guys come up with the text and a picture of the building
Just
that we
one?
want to use, and then I'll help you lay that out.
Okay. All right. Great.
Excellent.
And then give it to the kids for their Paideia projects?
Lisa's wanted us to go over the guidelines if possible.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Let me think, did I open those? I don't think. Hang
I just printed out the pages of the changes.
So. See if this works. Ba, ba, ba. All right.
You got it.
So this was what we talked about last time.
Mhm,
And Steve suggested something along these lines.
mhm.
So I typed it up and I thought that's what would be good. Steve, if you want to let me know if that is what you meant.
Yeah. No, I think that was well done. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, then we will check. All right,
Okay.
next. Scroll down. I think the links are all set. No foundation, frame walls changes, no maintenance, no siding changes.
I had one question on the application for certification or for appropriateness.
Yes.
It still remains $35.
No,
I
it's
don't know
not
how.
It's not a fee. So because it's a public hearing, state statute requires that a sign be posted on the property. The way Farmington does it is we have the signs and we just hold a $35 deposit for the sign. So once you bring the sign back to us, you get the $35 back.
Right, but why that amount?
I think that's what it costs to make a sign.
Okay.
Maybe it's a little more
Just
to
curious.
incentivize you.
You're just surprised that it's still the same rate?
It's what we charge all of the commissions. So ZBA, planning and zoning, and the wetlands. It's all $35. So it could just be that it's an easy fee.
That's an easy, yeah.
It's enough to make you want it back, but not so much to be burdensome.
Okay, then it's page 5, right?
All right. All right. Masonry walls, that was the same. Sandblasting is the same. Trim is the same. All right.
No, going back to page 5, you put a couple
I don't think
reference.
did I don't
think we're in there.
I changed something else for walls.
Oh no, I'm just talking about preservation briefs, guidelines, architectural elements. There was 2 websites added there.
Yes, those are the
National Trust or
National Park Service.
National Park
Is it?
Service.
Yeah, NPS. So that part of that update was just to make sure that the links were still the right links, and they are.
Good.
So it's just guidelines for preservation. I'm just skipping through to what we were changing. Windows. This is what we had discussed because we were talking about color. So just asking that window colors be matched to remaining windows.
Right.
On page 8.
Possible.
You
Yep.
match what's there, not what was original.
Yes, yeah, and
Yeah.
that was
Excellent,
that was so
excellent.
we had to change
We-
that phrasing. How I understood it versus how it came across was different. So if everyone's good with that language, no objections. Once, twice.
Good.
Historic glass, Barbara. I think this was your suggestion.
Yeah,
Should be retained to the extent possible or replaced with newly manufactured glass with similar characteristics.
right.
Um,
And storm windows.
should we put newly manufactured or recycled glass?
Oh, yeah, you
Because
could
there's
use
salvage
recycled.
companies. I
Salvage.
just that's
Yeah,
off in my
yeah.
head.
Historic glass should be
Uh,
retained.
And they can do reproduction glass to look like.
Well, that's the newly manufactured.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I
Or
think-
recycled. Yeah.
I know there's a salvage company in Massachusetts. I think it's called Eco Builders or something. You can buy like a clawfoot cast iron tub that they salvage from a house.
Yeah. Yeah. I worked in that industry for 15 years.
Yeah, they.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
it could
so-
read, or replaced with newly manufactured or recycled glass with similar characteristics.
You could use the word salvaged also, or yeah,
I'll
recycled.
replace it-
is-
Or say
Yeah.
instead of recycled, salvage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, when you're salvaging something, you are trying to recycle it. but,
Right, right.
Right. I'm thinking of, let's say someone found a stained glass window at one of these salvage businesses, and they put a hold on it, and they come in for a COA, and see if that would be the scenario in my head is that someone found the window, they want to get approval to maybe they replacing a plain window with a stained glass window
Yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah.
Does that anyone have any objections to that?
No.
No.
All right. Storm windows. This just adding in, if storm windows are installed, preference should be given to interior storm windows. However, if that's not feasible, use a metal window that covers the entire window. So it's just adding preference should be given to
Mhm.
interior storm windows.
Yeah.
All right.
Got it. Alrighty.
Porches and steps. Additional porches and steps. I forgot who suggested this. Additional
Me.
porches and yeah, there you go. Additional porches and steps may be constructed, however, should be located so as to not be visible from the front property line. So let's say someone wants to put a deck on their back or something like that. Is what I'm imagining, but
Yeah.
Although I'm considering adding a porch, an extension to my existing front porch.
And you want to know whether or not we're going to approve it?
Oh, well, you'll have to. I mean, you're gonna have to hear me because it is a designated property. Thanks, Mom. And I'm just gonna wrap it around the side of the house, so you're gonna see it from the street.
right.
But I intend on
You'll
doing it, with the same spindles, the same turn posts, the same bracket fretwork, 1895 simple Victorian. So I want to make it look like it's always been there.
Maybe constructed.
Need a COA.
Additional porches and steps
Oh,
may
I will.
be constructed
I will. I'll be ready.
and existing porches and steps may be extended. However, preference should be
To keep it in the same architectural style.
well, I think
We're rewriting it so you'll be okay.
here, let me you're bending the rules for Steve. Let me just
That's
bump
what
this
you
down.
call having inside pull.
Coercion.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Additional porches and steps may be constructed in existing.
Hang on, give me 1 second. I just thought of how to phrase it.
when located from the when visible from this front from the street.
Should match
Mhm.
existing style.
Right,
Yeah,
that's what I said.
Lisa may have some ideas on this,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, so
Right. That one would still require a COA.
yeah.
yes.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely, yeah. You got to see the design, the drawing, proposed. You got to see the list of material being used.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think, and I think by default, if it's in here, it requires a COA.
Yeah.
So I'll leave that. I think it's best to hold off it personally. I'm just the staff liaison. I think it'd be best to wait until we have at least Lisa and probably Ann as well, just to vote on the changes to adopt the guidelines.
Okay.
I know she wanted to be here, so.
Any existing porch,
I like that. Not, because of
line should
personal
match
reasons.
existing style, okay.
Not just for personal reasons, Steve.
I'll impress you guys with my COA presentation.
It's
Right.
okay, Steve. You're looking to add. and I'm
Or
looking to
you
take-
might
and
want
I'm
to
looking take
say,
away.
when,
Yeah, I'm
oh,
looking to
when
add to.
visible, okay, no, never mind, no. When visible from the street, should match existing style, okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if it's not visible, we really don't care,
Right.
okay.
Right. It's if you're
Right.
just putting a deck off the back of your house and you're using Trex decks and vinyl railings.
Yeah.
Not visible from the street, so.
Disco balls.
Maybe this is what you're thinking about, Bob, because this is where the walls come in.
Mhm.
Decorative and retaining walls, when similar materials cannot be used to repair or replace failing walls, alternative materials and methods may be used that match the existing material or historically accurate material. My thought process behind that is that you can have stamped and stained concrete walls. So let's say you have a retaining wall, you want to replace it with a concrete, even mafia blocks now, they come cast to look like
Right.
Right, to look like they were
right,
hand
right.
done, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's
Okay.
just the thought of that. I know it's fairly uncommon that we have retaining walls in the Unionville Historic District. I think there's one or two spots on Lovely Street maybe. But most of them don't have retaining walls, so I doubt this will ever get used, but at least it's in there.
We had
Well, I
we
would-
actually had a key one on Elm, the property adjacent to the pediatrician's office, where they put a fence. And so
Right.
I think this is a good wording for it, that we would consider other materials.
Yes, and that's all it is. It gives someone the opportunity to come in and say, yes, it's concrete block, but it's stamped to look like stone, or we'll
Right.
build it out of retaining wall block, and then there'll be a
Veneer.
veneer. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
A veneer
Is
of stone. that looks like a
mafia
stack.
block? Is mafia block an industry term I don't know about?
Mafia
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
for ankles,
Mafia blocks. But here's a good
is it
example.
really?
I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
see,
yeah.
it looks like stone.
Yes.
This looks like
Crazy. More than enough to stink your enemy, right?
They
But
even
yeah, you
have
see, like,
blocks that
so-
look like foam and plastic that look like rocks.
Right.
this.
Mhm.
Polymer.
So let's
Yeah.
say the cemetery wall is failing. Theoretically, it could be rebuilt with these,
Yeah.
and it would look
Right.
similar.
Right, you
Save
couldn't tell the
town
difference.
money. Yeah.
That might be a stretch right there, but
No, I'm
Close.
just saying that's like an extreme example because it's a
Right.
big wall that is very distinctive.
Yeah.
That it's a neat. It's everyone sees it regularly, so they know what the wall looks like. So that's an extreme example.
Yeah.
All right. So does anyone have any issues with that wording?
Consumer materials cannot be used.
I think it's fine since I was doing
So
that.
obviously the preference is that it be repaired with
Historic
stacked
material,
stone,
if possible. But
Yeah, so let's say the
Yeah.
wall just fell over,
Right.
you need to add drainage and
I-
rebuild the wall.
So the only thing I would change it may be considered instead of maybe used.
Oh. Thank you, Matt.
Good safe
Yeah.
word.
Mhm. That's better.
Yeah.
All right. So that is all set then, I hope. Electric vehicle chargers, I think
Yeah.
the only thing that we need to change, so electric vehicle chargers, whenever possible, electric vehicle chargers shall be placed toward the rear of the building so as not to be visible from the street. If a charger cannot be located on the side or rear, it should be screened from view of the street. I know the commission cannot regulate landscaping, so I'm not sure whether,
Maybe change it from it should to it may.
See, the best
And
place
that-
to put it is in your garage.
right,
Yeah,
I
but-
think,
But that covers us by changing it from should to may. That covers us. But in terms of the letter of the law and what is allowable from our purview, as well as what's allowable and or what's enforced regarding the electric vehicle stuff.
yeah. Yeah, and I think my reasoning behind the phrasing is that I'm assuming that either the homes don't have a garage or
Right.
they don't have 240 volts running to their garage.
Right.
That they just mounted on the side of the house.
Right. You basically want to express the fact that we want the person to do some kind of due diligence to conceal it,
Aesthetics.
screen it, yeah, conceal it, make an effort, build a little box around it,
Right, and I think it'll be very rare that someone will be putting
Right.
one on the front of their house. I think most of the time
yeah,
it's on the side.
Okay.
They're not
driveway
huge.
side.
Yeah, they're not huge.
In the garage.
or in the, a
The
lot
back
of
of
the
the house
older
is con-
homes, the garages are in the back.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So
They
if
were
you're so
probably
that's-
old kitchens or stables, so, yeah.
Right. Yeah, so it's really an extreme circumstance that
Right.
they would put it on the front of the house, and I'm sure they would prefer not to have it on the front of their house.
Yeah.
I know people that don't even like having a hose on the front of their house.
But like you were saying earlier, it's a big expense to extend that kind of electrical service to a garage if you don't
Right.
have.
Right.
So it's
Or if you don't have
easy
the
to
Yeah,
have
especially
it.
when
Yeah.
the garage is not attached to the house.
Mhm.
Right, exactly. Yeah, if you're just going through the basement or crawl space to the side of the house, that's easy. If you're running,
My guess is in the next couple of years that statute itself will end up getting revised to include. I mean, right now it includes solar energy systems,
yes,
but it'll end up getting revised with the wording that will include electrical charging, because the way the auto industry is going, it like there is the impetus to get X number of vehicles to electric within
Right.
the next 10 years. So
and Eversource has a grant for installing electric vehicle chargers currently.
right,
And it's like a 9 or 10 year grant with a 3-year cycle, so they get money every 3 years. So it's first come,
Right.
first serve. They run out after a year, you got to wait 2 more years, and then I mean, there's certain stipulations by what kind of charger it is. It has to be connected to the internet, stuff like that. But it'll be coming sooner than you think.
well, and I was told a buddy of mine's a builder down in southeastern Connecticut, and a lot of the local building code down in that area any new construction of garages or homes down in that area, they're required to put in the electrical charging in those areas now. So
Yeah, the discussion we've had with some builders is that people are asking for it more. And at the very least, they just run a 240 volt
Yep.
plug
Sure.
into the garage, and then you just plug in a charger.
Mm-hmm.
That way it's
That's it.
there. So anyway, not that any of the historic homes are new.
right.
And your last one was parking, right, Matt? The parking part.
Passing upon appropriate access to parking, the commission shall consideration.
No, I don't think that was mine.
Parking area, the visible.
Remember
No.
who it was. Let me see if I can. Sorry, Barbara.
That's okay.
I did.
I don't
April.
remember.
That may have just been maybe a TPZ revision.
I don't believe so. I can check my notes tomorrow. I don't remember if it was
That's
in
fine.
the email or if it was something someone had sent in or something. I'm pretty sure that phrasing was either directly copied because I don't remember writing that part. But I'll find out who and what it came from.
I mean, all it does is take into consideration. It doesn't really
Right.
have
yeah.
any
It's really,
guidelines.
it's really just if you're adding a driveway or extending your driveway or something like that, or
Mhm.
yeah, public spaces. So if it's a historic commercial property, I don't think the Scully Nixa building is on the. I don't know how old it is, but that's just the first thing that pops to mind.
Mhm.
Next to Ion Bank, that theoretically,
Right.
If they were to come in to add parking, or if we had a house in one of our commercial zones and someone moved out and a business wanted to move in, we'd make them look at this for where they're going to put their parking.
I think the issue was that it came from the national parks.
It could be.
It
So
could
that's
be.
a Connecticut state statute, so maybe it was a recent revision or something like that. But I'll look into it a little bit more before the May meeting.
Okay.
And I think that was it, right?
All right, we have other pages here that
Yeah,
were
I think
attached.
that's all. Yeah, that's all from the National Park Service.
It's kind of duplicated. 13 and 14 go together. 15 and 16 go together. 17 and 18 go together. And
You're talking about
19 and 20 go together.
Are you talking about the pages, Bob?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're all standards
There's-
for reconstruction.
Rehabilitation is defined as.
Was that supposed to be sent also?
Yeah, that's what's part of the
Right.
guidelines. How did you start? I'll take a look at that. Yeah, you're right. It does look like it's
They're all like duplicates,
something.
but there's just a little bit of different wording on it.
Right. It might have just been a copy paste from either the National Park Service or maybe from Farmington's guidelines. I'm not quite sure. I will look into that though.
Okay.
Maybe it was older versions that we just left in there by accident or something when it was updated.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll look into that. That's like I said. And my recommendation.
We can vote on this next week.
Yeah.
or next month.
Next month. Yeah.
Next month. Next part was the update of Farmington Historic District properties research. And I think we could table that till next month also.
Okay, all right.
I mean, yeah, because it was Barbara. Well, yeah, Bob, Barbara, and Ann. Obviously, Ann's not here, but have you guys done any more research into those?
No, really.
Well,
That
we'll
are-
be doing research and does everyone have access to that file area that,
I can set it up. I can set up a folder for.
okay,
So I'll set up a Farmington Historic District research folder, and then I'll put in the 3 properties, and I'll put in all the
Okay.
information. That way
and
we can
then
share it.
I should delete out the old one and then put in the new one?
Oh,
It doesn't
for Lovely
copy
Street?
over.
For Lovely Street?
Yeah,
Yeah, I can just delete that. I saw that you had uploaded one this
I
afternoon.
did. Yeah, yeah, and I was thinking I probably should have deleted the old one
Yeah, it's no
because it
problem.
won't copy the same file over. Or
Yes,
it didn't for me, so
there it's gone.
to try to keep it always up to date. And then anyone from the committee can go in and look, and if they have suggestions or
Yes,
anything they
I'll
want to say.
yeah, I'll make a folder for the district for the commission, and I'll upload some information. I'll upload a few files into that. I'll add a Farmington Historic District folder,
Okay.
and I'll add the Lovely Street
Okay,
presentation and a few other
Yeah.
things. Just
and
so
then
that everyone has
committee
access to it.
members can look at things as we're going along.
Yep. Yes.
Okay, good.
So
Garrett, would you be willing to do another hosting of a tutorial?
yes. Yeah.
I
Steve,
missed out.
So I'm on vacation next week, but after that, just let me know when you want to come in, and I can show you how to do the research.
Okay,
Do it.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay,
That was very good. Thank you.
okay.
I missed out. Yeah.
And I sent out I know it's not on the agenda, but I sent out the solicitation list with the agenda, hopefully.
Okay.
So I think the ones in yellow have been added. I could be wrong. But I did send that out, and I'll put that in the folder as well,
Okay.
just so that it's there. I don't know when the last time the information was updated though. So I will look into that, who the current property owners are, because I think it was last dated 2019. So we can see if anyone's bought or sold their house in the past 2 or 3 years.
Great.
I'm not so certain on the ones that are listed as Sandtown.
Yeah, I didn't do the file, and I don't know why they're highlighted.
Because they probably won't be. They're either commercial or in process.
I don't know. I'll talk to Shannon. I think, assuming she was the one that highlighted them, but I mean, commercial properties can be part of the district.
True, but they're so 1783 is the one that's right the old Hodges, right next to the gas station.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that one definitely won't go into at this point won't go into the historic district.
So maybe it was just marked.
Yeah, I
that
think
they're
the
not
one
interested.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
The
I
that's
same
think
fine.
the
with,
ones you got highlighted won't join.
right,
All right.
I know Sanford
could
and
be it.
Hawley's not going to join.
right,
Yeah. Not their main building.
right.
Right.
Um,
That could be it then. Like I said, I didn't. So what happens when you highlight something and then don't tell people why it's highlighted?
No, it's okay. 203 Main Street is up for sale, and I believe was sold, or is in the process of being sold.
Mhm.
So that's a possibility moving forward, depending on who the new owner is.
Oh, yeah, right.
When we did our land records research, there was a realtor listing Bidwell Square 81, I think.
Mm,
It's not in the district. It's not part of the district. But the owners were really interested in sharing the history about the building. It is an old building. So
Yeah.
maybe if someone new buys it, of course it's not coming up now. If someone new buys it, maybe they'll be interested in it, because I know the realtor was interested in putting the information about joining the historic district on the listing, but I don't think it's been listed
Okay.
yet. I don't think.
That one on the corner, huh?
Yeah, this one right here.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's
Okay.
that one. It was.
Do you know who
Where's-
owns it?
I don't. For some reason, this has decided to suddenly stop working. I don't know who owns it, but I think it was owned by Griswold and then sold to a pastor. I remember reading that. Oh, maybe the GIS is down for maintenance. Let's try this. I think it's either 81 or 82.
Yeah.
Two.
Yep, 82. John Paul Mishenko. So they were looking to list it at least.
Great.
Actually, yeah. He was looking. So they're looking to put it on the market. So maybe whoever buys it next will be interested in joining the district. I mean, it's still got wood shingles, and so it doesn't look like much has been changed. So something to consider.
Actually looks a little scary.
List it now before the new owner can
Yeah.
change their mind.
Right.
We'll do a speed
Yeah. Expedited.
expedited hazing.
Yeah, it's one of those homes that there's no real construction date. It was built between this date and this date.
Huh.
Mhm.
Okay. Do it yourselfer over
Yeah,
time.
the pastor built it. It's in the it's listed on the historical house survey that was done in the 80s. So we got a lot of information for that.
Wow.
So I don't see any houses on Google Square listed on our
Yeah,
list.
they know there was a house there. If it was sold with dwellings or buildings, then they know a house
80,
had
no,
been put there. Yeah.
82
Yeah.
Federal Square, Reverend James Smith rental house vernacular 1863-69.
Yep,
It's in
that was
our
it.
it's actually in our
One
self-guided
of our
walking
books?
tour number 3, Main Street, Unionville.
There you go.
Wow.
So the owner is convinced that it was part of the Underground Railroad, but I pointed out to the realtor that it was built after the Civil War.
Right.
Yeah, the realtor was in the vault with us.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, Barbara?
It was good timing for her.
Yeah. Yeah. She was there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
every house wants to be known that they were on the Underground Railroad.
Yes.
They don't want to know what slaves lived there, though.
Yeah.
Mm.
well, and so I ended up reaching out to Joanne Lawson, who was with us, and she has a lot of the information about the Underground Railroad, but she said that she didn't think any of the homes in Unionville were part of it.
I don't think so.
Just based
No,
on
for the most
numbers.
part, no.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, went off on a tangent.
Yep.
So I'll upload this list to the SharePoint as well.
Okay.
Okay, do we have any other new business? None, huh? We have a motion to adjourn.
I so move.
Second.
So it is. See you next month.
Thank you,
Okay,
everyone.
everyone, stay healthy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.